going over the poem The Right Word by Imtiaz Dharker. We will be going to a line by line explanation. Okay, let's get into it. So let's read the poem and go to each stanza of what it means. Okay, so outside the door, lurking in the shadows, is a terrorist. So here we're speaking initially, it initially introduces lurking. So lurking means like hiding or moving very slowly. Okay, lurking in the shadows and labeled him a terrorist. Now the word terrorist has a very invoking, fearful order towards it. Yeah. So the word lurking suggests sneaky, malicious, intent, establishing a mode of fear and danger. Okay, fear and danger. Is that the wrong description? Outside the door, taking shelter in the shadows, is a freedom fighter. Okay, so here we have the words terrorist and the words freedom fighter. So very contradictory, yeah. Okay. Stanza 2 speaks immediately, questions her initial choice of words. She re-describes that the exact same action has taken shelter in the shadows, labeling him a freedom fighter, paints a completely different picture, one of justified struggles against oppression rather than senseless violence. Okay, so stanza 3. I've got this right. Outside, waiting in the shadows, is a hostile militant. Now they're saying not a terrorist, not a freedom fighter, but a hostile militant. So the speaker re-evaluates again, calling the man a hostile militant. The adjectives here highlight anger and aggression, emphasizing the opposing political or military stance of the figure. Okay? So a hostile militant is like basically someone dealing with the law and the army. Are the stanza 4, are words no more than waving flags outside the door, watchful in the shadows, is a guerrilla warrior. The stanza shifts now to a guerrilla warrior. This term brings to the mind an irregular fighter who uses unconventional logistics, tactics, and presenting a picture of someone deeply ingrained in the battlefield environment. So a guerrilla warrior is someone that's fighting, okay? Someone that's fighting in the war. Stanza 5, God help me. Outside, defying every shadow, stands a mantri. I saw his face. The speaker tries the term mantri. This introduces a religious or ideological layer, portraying the figures as someone willing to suffer or die for a cause. So this word, maitri, okay, this means when someone is willing to die for the beliefs that they have in terms of religion. Stanza 6. No words can help me now. Just outside the door, lost in the shadows, is a child who looks like mine. Now the poet reaches a breakthrough. All the guard's politically loaded words fail here. As there are no political words, now it's more straightforward and more grounded. Okay, so because there is an inadequate, she stops relying on vocabulary and simply looks at the person with her eyes, realizing that all the waving flags of the words are meaningless. Okay? Stanza 7. The speaker's one word for you. Outside my door, his hands too steady, his eyes too hard, is a boy looking like your son too. So notice that they say looks like mine and your son too. Okay, stanza 7 speaks fundamentally charges as she finally sees the person for what he is. He is a child or a boy who looks like her son. Thus strips away the fear of political associations, highlighting the universal human connection. So in these stanzas, there's no talk about any politics, but more about feelings and emotions on a much more deeper level. Okay, let's go to stanza 8 and 9, which are the last two stanzas. I open the door. Come in, I say. Come in and eat with us. The child steps in and carefully at my door takes off his shoes. So, stanza 8. The realization of shared humanities leads to action. The barrier of the door is broken down. She invites the child in to come in and eat with us, replacing holicity with hospitality. Stanza 9. Stanza 9. The poem concludes with a domestic peaceful action as the boy removes his shoes, demonstrating deep trust and respect and shedding off the outside world's aggression, breaking closure to the emotional journey. So when he takes off his shoes, he shows respect to her as that he is now in her home. And that's all for today. Thank you.